The Someone You Should Know podcast with Rick Anthony, sponsored by Summarize. Repurpose podcast, webinars, and interviews for social media, websites, and email with the help of AI, all thanks to the help of Summarize. Hi, I'm Rick Anthony, and welcome to the Someone You Should Know podcast, the podcast that focuses on musicians, authors, and interesting people. We like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. So sit back, have a cold one, and get ready to meet someone you should know. On this episode of the Someone You Should Know podcast, a great band from Italy. Yeah, their self-titled album came out in March, and it is solid. And from the band, we happen to have bassist Federica Raschella. Federica, welcome.
Hello.
All the way from Rome today.
Yes,
Awesome.
from Rome.
Very good, very good. I got to ask you, what was your why for becoming a musician? What was it in life that made you decide, I want to be a musician?
Actually, I fell in love with music when I was 11. I started listening to bands like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Ronnie James Dio, all that kind of stuff, heavy metal of the 80s, classic heavy metal, let's say. And I started playing guitar at the beginning, but after a couple of years, a friend of mine called me to see the rehearsals with this band, and their bass player wasn't there. So they looked at me and asked, like, hey, why don't you play the bass today? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I take that bass, they had one, and I started playing with them, improvising somehow. But I really liked it. I really love to play the bass. So it happened another time, and then I decided to sell all my gear and buy a guitar. And from that moment on, I became a bass guitar.
Very good. Very good. I started to tell Federica this when we started off. My daughter started off on bass when she was, I think, 14. I got her I think it was a Fender Squier bass, and she learned from that. And even on Christmas Day, she was throwing out a couple of songs. It's like the bass line of a couple of songs. I'm going, gosh, she's got the talent. I don't. I never had it. I had the voice, but I never had the ability to play. I got to ask you, how did Nightblaze come together?
Well, Nightblaze came together in 2021 when Dario called Damiano, our singer, and other musicians, because he wanted to have a real band after some years where he was recording, but just on studio projects. So he made a couple of albums without playing live. And he wanted to rebuild a band. So he called those musicians, but the first lineup had a little problem. And he decided to, in a certain sense, make his own on his own, him and Damiano. He made all the musical parts, all the recording, and the post-producing.
Uh-huh.
And Damiano thought about the vocals and the melodies of the vocals and all the vocal parts. Let's say this way.
That's incredible. I really love
Yeah,
I love backstories like that. Members you mentioned, Dario. Who were the other members of the band again?
The first lineup had some problems, so they did all on their own for almost 1 year and a half. When then Dario called his brother Alessandro, our drummer. And he called me because I played with Alessandro a lot of years ago when I was 20. And we played together for, I think, 5 or 6 years. So he called me and we gave me new life.
Okay. Oh, very good. Now, you used to be with Steel Tyrant and Evil Eyes. And how did that get you ready for playing with Nightblaze?
Well, in a certain way, it didn't. I mean, there were cover bands, so it's a totally different kind of approach.
Oh, okay. Those were cover bands. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was Judas Priest cover band and a Ronnie James Dio cover band.
Oh, awesome. So, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So it played a lot. We had a lot of shows, live shows and all that stuff, but we never recorded. We never wrote songs together.
Awesome.
So in this way, it didn't help. It didn't add me anything.
Mm-hmm.
The band that maybe helped me a little under this point of view is Verdemela.
Mm-hmm.
That is an Italian band, the one I played with Alessandro. Well, we made our songs, so the writing process and all that stuff, and then I get better.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. By the way, she mentioned that she is an Iron Maiden fan, so it's you and I are kinship there, because I love Maiden, and they just don't get the respect that they deserve, and I just absolutely love Iron Maiden, and so you and I, you won't winning extra points with me today by saying you're a Maiden fan.
My favorite band is Dream Theater, because during the years I changed a little bit my musical direction. And Dream Theater caught my heart.
Awesome.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Now, the first song we're going to feature is called Tell Me. What can you tell me about this great song?
This is the first single that came out, and it's also the first song that Dario and Damiano worked on. So I think it's the more, how can I say, immediate. Okay, the chorus is very catchy, it's easygoing. I think it's a very great song.
I do too. We're going to play that song right now. Tell Me right now from Nightblaze on the Someone You Should Know podcast.
Tell me now, tell me, tell me. Tell me, just tell
That's Tell Me from the band Nightblaze. Joining me from the band is bassist Federica Raschella. Oh, more great music from the band coming up in a couple of minutes. This is their debut album, and there's a lot of great music on it. We've got more coming up in just a bit. But before we do, I want to say thanks so much for tuning into the Someone You Should Know podcast. We remind you that you can check us out on the web at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. If you go there, you're going to see our recent news, our archive of past episodes, and we've got over 170 episodes for you to check out. If you've missed any along the way, go ahead and check that out. I want to thank our friends over at Buzzsprout. They're the service that shares us to all the streaming platforms. Thanks to them and thanks to you, we are heard in over 2,200 cities and 90 countries around the world. And since Federica is from Italy, some of the cities in Italy that are listening to us are Trento, Genoa, Turin, Rome, and Pisa. So I want to thank all those fine folks over in Italy for tuning in, and probably will grow a couple more thanks to having Federica on the show today. The Someone You Should Know podcast, heard wherever streaming audio is available. Hi, it's Rick again for Summarize. Summarize repurposes your content from audio and video into engaging, shareable social posts, email content, summaries, quotes, and more. Hey, it's hard work to create high-quality content from podcasts and video content. Summarize gives you multiple types of content to support your marketing channels, from social media posts and email newsletters to show summaries and a whole lot more. As a matter of fact, if you go there today, you can upload up to 60 minutes for free and find out why I like it so much. Go to summarize.com to learn more. That's SUMMARAIZE.com. Thanks for listening, and now back to our podcast. We want to say thanks so much for listening, and now back to our interview with Federica Raschella, bassist for the band Nightblaze. You were influenced a lot by bands from the 80s, and you brought that in this particular project. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree. Dario, that, like I said, is the mastermind of the project because he did almost everything on his own together with Damiano, always wanted to make a record influenced by the 80s music because all the records that he did before were like progressive rock or genres, and he really loved the 80s. So he wanted to make something that make people feel that love. So I think that this record really could be put in the 80s.
I totally agree with you. I got that same vibe from you as far as this is definitely the stuff that I remember and loved back in the 80s. You know, you got the Scorpions and Ronnie James Dio and that whole thing. It fit that same realm. And it's just like being teleported back into the 80s with such great music. Yeah.
I'm very happy that you feel that way.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely fabulous. And another tune we're going to feature is called Take On Me. What's the story on Take On Me?
Well, Take On Me is, like Tell Me, I think it's one of the most catchy songs of the album. There are 3 or 4 with this chorus, like very easy listening, easy going, that gets stuck in your head for days. So it's the second single that came out, and it's a story of jealousy for the most.
Yep, it's a great song. We're going to feature that right now. Take On Me from the band Nightblaze on Someone You Should Know podcast featuring Federica Raschella. Great tune right there. That is Take On Me from the band Nightblaze. We are talking with Federica Raschella. She's the bassist with the band. And Federica, anytime we have bands on, we love to talk about famous road stories. And in our case here, we do a thing called Tales from the Road. These are those road stories where things didn't go quite as planned. Did you ever see the movie This Is Spinal Tap, Federica?
Yeah.
Think the Spinal Tap moment. What would you say yours would be? It doesn't have to be necessarily from Nightblaze, but maybe your previous bands or whatever. What would you say would be your Spinal Tap moment?
Yeah, a couple. The first is when I was playing with Steel Tyrant. We came to the place, we set everything up, and half an hour before the show, our singer called us, "I'm not coming." What? Here. We got mad for that. And the second one is when we were shooting the videos with Nightblaze. We went to Rovelasca, a city in the north of Italy. And the morning of the shooting, I got up with a stomachache, with a crazy stomachache. I was very in pain, and I had to handle this pain for all the morning, all the shooting. And it has been quite a mess. I hope that it's not visible in the video how I was in pain, but
I'll have to pay attention to that as far as we'll take a look at the videos. Yeah. We'll include the videos that we've got in the show notes here. Federica, what's some good social media links as far as what's the best way to reach out to and find out where the band's going to be touring when new music's coming out? Do you have some good social media links we should go to?
And the Instagram.
Yes. I'm sorry, you have Instagram, and what was the other one?
Nightblaze Band.
Nightblaze
Official. Sorry, Nightblaze Official.
Nightblaze Official on Instagram. I will post that down in the show notes because we want to stay in tune to what's going on with Federica and her band. What's planned for the rest of 2024? Have you got some big events coming up, Federica, that we should know about?
No, not yet. The record just came out on March 22nd. And we still don't have any live date. We are working on that.
All right, very good. What we'll do, though, is I'm sure they'll be posted to your Instagram page when that actually does happen. Now, the next song we're going to feature is the latest one. It's called Daughter. What can you tell us about Daughter? It's a great song. Yes,
this is the only, I think, song with autobiographic elements, because not directly for Dario, but for his wife and the relationship she had with her father. And actually, this is one of the songs I feel the most because I have a 6-year-old baby girl. And when I listened to this song for the first time, I got emotional. I gotta say it. It touches me.
Oh yeah.
Every time
I totally agree with you. It's a great song, and I'm so glad to be able to include that part of the podcast here. And Federica, any last things that we should know about you or the band that you'd love to tell us?
Actually, everything we do it with our heart. So we hope that it comes to the listener.
Awesome.
That people can get. We do it with passion.
Awesome. Very good. That's the way to keep it going. Great music from the band Nightblaze. We're going to wrap up the show with Daughter. Federica, it's been a delight to have you on the show. I thank you so much for taking your time. It's already evening over there in Rome, but it's only midday here in Chicagoland. But thank you so very much for being with us. And I wish you nothing but success for the band Nightblaze.
Thank you. Thank you very much for everything.
Child, the hourglass is running fast. Just keep walking your own path. Remember all the days, 'cause even when the times are bad, there's something new to learn. Someday you'll realize why growing up is really hard to do. Moving on from your mistakes, you'll find the strength to spread your wings and fly. Look ahead, because only time can heal the pain. Don't hesitate, stop your tears from falling down. Be sure nothing is lost. One day we'll meet again. Don't cry for me, find me over the horizon, right in the place where we belong. Don't live in fear, our love will get through the seasons. I will always be with you.
Hi, this is Rick Anthony, thanking you again for listening to this episode of Someone You Should Know. Now, if you're an aspiring musician or an established musician that's looking for a little exposure, I invite you to drop us a line at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. That's someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. Also, I invite you to tell a friend about the Someone You Should Know podcast. I thank you for tuning in this time, and I invite you to check us out next time on the Someone You Should Know podcast, because you never know who's going to show up. Until next time, remember, God loves you, and so do I.